Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to start with data pre-processing before building the machine learning model. In my previous videos I've already covered what is machine learning, types of machine learning, and what are the application and real life use of machine learning algorithms. So now before applying any of the algorithms, data pre-processing is very important. Why? You might be getting this question because it improves the data quality, it enhances the model performance, and it reduces the complexity. So how it improves the data quality? First of all, handling the missing values, or we might be having some correct or incorrect values in the data set, which can lead to some errors in our final output. So it is better to handle those missing value before uh, applying any of the algorithms. After doing this data pre-processing, the model quality will enhance, and it will become more better. And applying data pre-processing, like doing data pre-processing, is like it reduces all the outliers, missing values, duplicate values, and whatever uh, we can say overfitted values or underfitted values also can be removed, so that complexity will become less and the algorithm will work much in a better way, in a more better way. So yeah, today we'll start with this data pre-processing. So before starting data pre-processing, first I have taken one data set from Kaggle, and the data set name is software engineer's job and salary. Now we are not applying any of the algorithm. Today basically I'll be dealing with how we can import the necessary libraries, how we can read the data set, checking of the data set, if it is any null value is present. If null value is present, how to just give the redundant term and all, how to remove those redundant terms and all, how to deal with the outliers or duplicate values. So let's start. For the for the first thing, we'll start with the necessary data set. So the necessary data set will be, as of now I feel everyone will be like familiar with Python. If you guys are not familiar with Python and its libraries, do tell me so that I can make a separate video on that part. So here we are using these libraries just for making the graphs, charts, and some of the data sets will be present in the array form also. So for retrieving those data sets, we are using these libraries. So first of all, we are using Panda. These libraries are highly used for making graphs, charts, and all. This PyPlot and Seaborn. So let's run this one. Okay. Yeah, so it's working. The first thing, we have imported our libraries. Now coming to the second part, which is to read our data set. So what we can do, we can make a variable. We'll use pd.read, which is a function, and inside this pd.read we can give the name of our CSV file. So the CSV file name is s.csv. Let's see. Okay, sorry, pd.read csv. Yeah, it's working. Now if you want to see the first 5 rows, then we can do the like that, print data dot head. So it will print the first 5 rows. So as we can see, I'll show you my data set also. So data set consists of the company score, job, title, location, date, and salary. And let's see here: company score, job title, location, date, and the salary. So the first five rows are shown. We can show it using data.head. So the first and foremost thing, like reading the CSV file, is done. Now coming to the sanity check of the data. Sanity check of the data is like describing the data and checking if it contains any of the null values or not. So we'll come to the next line and we'll print data dot describe. Let's print this one. Yeah. So data dot describe, what it will do, it will give you the count, mean value, standard deviation, that interquartile. These are the interquartile and quartile range which we are using again for data pre-processing, maximum value, minimum value. So that's why we are using data describe. Now we'll go to another part, which is getting the checking for the null values, if any null value is present. So for this also we have functions, and it's not necessary to remember all the function, as once you'll start doing this algorithm like applying algorithms in machine learning, doing projects and all, so you will get to know like how these things work. So here we are getting the null values. Suppose in the company column we have two null values. Similarly in company score 81, job titles we don't have any, and date also we don't have any. So this null values we have to deal with. So till now what we have done, very simplified way I will tell you, that we have read the data set, we have described our data set, we have seen how many columns are there and what all, and we have checked for if any null value is present. So if the null value is present, obviously we'll try to add some other value so that our data set is not like empty, and it should not give any different or ambiguous value. So now our next step is exploratory data analysis. So here what we will do is we'll make plots, charts and all, so as to get the idea of our data set. So I'll show you one how to make use this pair plot. Yeah, so this is the pair plot. If you want to use matplotlib, you can use that also as well. And if you want to use rows and columns in that also, you can give it, and you can get your linear chart and all like that using these matplotlib and cbond libraries. For that reason only I have used those libraries. So this is our exploratory data analysis. Next, coming to missing value treatment. So in our data set, the value can be categorical value as well as numerical value. So in case suppose we have a numerical value, in that case we have to find the median, and suppose if we have the categorical value, in that case we have to find the mode, and those values, the median and mode, will be replaced by those null values. Like wherever the null value or missing value is present, median and mode will be added there. So how we can do that? So first of all, I'll iterate through all the column which has numeric value, and we'll select those columns which has numeric values. So include is equal to np dot number. Dot columns. It's done. So this will select all the columns which has the numerical value. After selecting all the columns, we will find the median, and this median value will be filled in the null value places. So data column dot fill I should have given a variable name here to store that value. Here data column fill median value in place is equal to true. So we'll run this one. Let's see. Yeah, this one is working. So this is for, I'll write here, this is for numerical data. Now let's go for the categorical data. Again the same thing for column, but here we'll find for search for the categorical data, not for the numerical data. D types include is equal to np dot objects dot columns mod value is equal to data column. We'll use all those columns where we have got the categorical value, and then we'll find the mod. We are representing the categorical value with the help of the objects. Data column dot fill name this shouldn't be object, this should be object. Oh, so sorry, I was doing, because it is a categorical value, so we can't use np there, because np is for array elements or numerical values, and this is the string values we can say, the object 0 1 categorical value. So okay, like this we have added those values there. Now we'll see print head dot data. Let's see, let's print. Sorry, I'm so sorry, that should be data dot head. This is the we will copy paste the same line, and now we'll see if all our null values have got eliminated or not. Yeah, so as you can see here, all these values are 0, so there are no null values in our data set. Now like this way you can this way you can eliminate all the null values from our data set. Now coming to the outliers. Outliers means, suppose in our data set, if we have like for one purpose we have a very large value in one column and a very small value in another column, so that will make the data more complex and the output will not be that accurate. So because of that we are handling the outliers. Outliers do nothing but it will find the range, the lower range and the higher range, and in between those range, if the value is present, then that value is considered. So what we do is, in the outliers is like, we'll first find the 50%. From the 50%, the first half will be the, in the first half we'll have the 25%, and in the second half we'll have the 75%. So how we can do is, here we'll find the Q1, which is the 25%, and we'll find the Q2, Q3, which will be the 75%. Q2 will be the 50%. So this will be the lower bound, the Q1 thing, which is 0.25, and the Q3 will be 0.75, which is the higher bound, and in between the data should lie, so that to remove all the outliers. So how we can write here is the same for loop for column dot data. This should be Q3, not Q2. And now we'll find the interquartile range, which will be the difference between the Q3 minus Q1. The lower bound will be found at Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. Now the higher bound. Now these datas, whatever data is present in our column, should be in between this higher bound and lower bound, so as to get a proper prediction. If you don't remove the outliers, the main problem you'll face is the values will be like, some of the values will be way too large and some of the values will be way too small. So the machine learning model will become biased some of the times. So this is how we can remove the outliers. I'll run this one. Okay, higher bound I have given, and here I am giving upper bound. Wow. Yeah, so this is also working. Similarly, we can do print data dot head and we'll get the data set again. So yeah, we can have we got our data, which we have removed, from which we have removed all the outliers. So now what about the next is the like duplicate data. So what we should do with the duplicate or garbage data is like, simply we can drop those duplicate data. So we can write data dot drop duplicates in place is equal to true. We'll run this. Okay, so data, all the duplicate data is removed. Now next, coming to our next step, which is normalization. So normalization is basically the same thing what we did in outliers. It is also regarding that only, that if the range is like values are too less or too like too big or too small, in that case there will be a like ambiguity in the final output. So that's why we need to remove all the like big and large value and make them into a range. So how we can take this one is, suppose we have our CSV data set. In this data set, as you can see, the salary will be like to a very big number. And suppose if we would have one column like job vacancies, Like how many job vacancies. So it will be in like single or double digits, not more than that. Or maximum it would have been like 3 digits, but not more than that. But the salary can be 3 digit, 5 digit, 4 digit, 10 digits also. So in that case, the learning model, machine learning model will become more biased towards the salary thing. So to normalize that, we are using the normalization. Sorry, we have to do the normalization. So manually we have to use this min max scaling, and we have to use the and we have to do the normalization. So what we can do, for column in data dot select the types include is equal to np dot number. Here I should give the bracket dot columns. Minimum value will be founded data column dot minimum. Similarly, the max value, now the data column value, which has to be normalized. Data column minus minimum value, and this full value will be divided by maximum value. For not making it more complicated, I would have used it here scikit learn function, library. It would have been more easy by using that library. But still, for like going in a easy way, and because it's a beginner video, so I wanted to make it more simple, so I have done it like this. So we have founded the min max, and then we'll see the output for this. Yeah, so this one is working. So let's print the columns again. So the first 5 rows will be printed. Yeah, so as you can see, it is printed. Now here we won't get that much idea, but after like while we'll may see the difference among the processing, like among the models which has a pre-processed data and the model which does not have the pre-processed data, the difference of the output is way more. Now this normalization is done. We'll go to our next state. So next step, which is encoding of data. Why do we do encoding? Suppose we can take one example, as if it's like it is a technique, you can say, to convert the categorical data into an integer value, so that it can be easily fitted to the machine learning model, and the learning model can easily process that data. In other ways, we can also say that we do encoding because those string values, categorical yes or no, cannot be digested by our computer or this kernel, Python kernel. So that's why we are taking those values as 0 and 1. And then we are going for the machine learning model. So there are like feature encoding and all present there. So you can, if you want, you can tell me. I'll make a different video, because covering all those things will be like too much of a confusion, will create too much of the confusion, and it will be a hectic video. So to make this video like simple and easy to understand, I have just uh, done the important topics and the parts which are really necessary to pre-process the data. So we'll go for the next step, which is our encoding of data. So till now you have understood all these things, like what is how we have to do the missing value treatment, how we have to find that the missing value is present, and what to do when the column has numerical value and when the column has a categorical values. Why do we use normalization, what is the use of outliers, why data pre-processing is important. All these things have been covered, and now we'll go for this encoding thing. So first of all, first and foremost step, let's take it as a categorical column. I'll assign it a name. Data dot select the types include data is equal to so yeah, I'll first of all, we have selected all the columns which have categorical value here. This thing is already like very clear. And then the second line dot get dummies, what it will do, it will generate new column for each new category, and then each new column will be represented by those categorical value which will be 1 and 0. So, and the true removes the first category for each categorical feature to remove the multicollinearity. It is used to like avoid the redundancy and the issues which can come into the machine learning model. So that's why we are using this encoding, so that the categorical values are converted into the numerical values, and it becomes easy for the machine learning model to grasp those values and to give us a proper output. So again, I'll print and I'll show you that how is the data set looking now. So it will give you all the zero, you can see here all the values which already had the string this thing. Now they have the 00001 values. So now this is very clear. This is how we'll do the data pre-processing before building any of the machine learning model. So these were the steps. These are the things which you have to do. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, please comment down below. Thank you.